Hey everyone, it's Tom. In today's video, I'm walking you through a full portrait retouch using Luminar Neo. And I am especially excited because we're using the brand new Blemish Removal Tool from the free spring update dropping April 9th. We'll go step by step, starting with selecting the right camera profile, dialing in exposure, and then getting into the fun stuff, skin retouching, creative looks with LUTs, and finishing it off with cropping and export. Today's model is Violet, and if you want to see the lighting setup for this shot, I've got the diagram over on my Instagram. Just search Tom Cheswick on Instagram. Let's jump in and make this portrait shine. It's so easy to add photos to Luminar's catalog. Just click on Add Photos. We're going to add a folder. And I'll select Violet's photo shoot. It instantly brings them all in and breaks down the subfolders as well. I'm going to go into the raw folder. Violet did an awesome job. So many great images to select from. And let's work with this one. We can hit the space bar and see the image larger. If we look in the upper right corner, we can see that it is a raw image. I used my Canon RP with an older EF 85mm 1.8 lens. The shoot was to show how easy you can photograph using speed lights. And my settings were ISO 400, f8, with the shutter speed 1/125. Once you select the image, all we need to do is go into Edit. And the first place to start, especially if you're using RAW, is Develop RAW. And set a camera profile, Luminar's default. But if we click on that, we can look at different ones. I'm going to just go with camera neutral. My white balance, I used an Expo disc, so I had a custom white balance already set, so that's as shot, colors are correct. Exposure we could bring up just a little bit, and let's bring up the shadows a touch. So that is what we started with. This is after we signed the proper camera profile. Everything looks awesome. I'm going to click on Develop and close up that tab. So let's take a look at the image, decide what we are going to do. Real quick, I am going to go back into Develop. I'm going to go to the color tab, even though it's correct. I'm going to grab the white balance tool. And this way we can get RGB values. And I like to look at the highlights. It's perfect that we're not blowing anything out, but we could probably go down just a touch for the exposure. And that's looking ideal for me. I'm going to click back on the white balance tool and lock it in and close up the Develop tab one more time. Let's get back to the tools and take a look at what we want to enhance on this image. Violet has great skin, but there are a couple areas that we'll want to clean up. Also on her chest and two little areas on her shirt. Everything else looks awesome. Let's scroll down to the portrait section and go to Face AI. Her face is lit perfectly, so we don't need to brighten her face. There's no need to slim her face, but we can enhance her eyes. I like to always start with Eye Enhancer. And that just adds a little sharpening or clarity to the iris. We can see a before and after. With her color eyes, I'm not sure if we really need the iris flare. That will lighten the bottom part of the iris. Eyes are pretty white. Here's one of the new tools, Dark Circles Removal. It's not something that Violet really needs, but I'll show you on another image right now. So Violet doesn't have any dark circles to remove, but let's take a look in this portrait. We'll go to Face AI, we'll go to the Eye section, and down to Dark Circle Removal. And just look at the amazing job that has done. And we can always take it back a little bit if we'd like to keep some of the natural look. Right around 60% looks awesome for this image. So that's a new tool in the spring update that's released April 9th. If you're new to Luminar Neo, there is a discount link listed below. It's amazing how well Dark Circles Removal works on eye bags. Last thing here is Improve Eyebrows. This really just darkens and sharpens the eyebrows a little bit. And that looks great. Under mouth, there's no teeth whitening needed. I'm not really going to adjust her lipstick since she did an awesome job. Let's just see what a little saturation does. And we can quickly see a before and after. Let's close up that tab and go to Skin AI. Face smoothing is something that Luminar Neo does really nice. It's a gentle approach, and even if we go all the way, there's still lots of texture in the skin. But I find most of my clients now are going for a more authentic look, less retouching, more natural. So I'm not using face smoothing as much as I used to. But here's the new tool from Neo, and it's the Blemish Removal Tool. And this one is awesome. Keeps all the natural skin texture, but just removes the type of imperfections that somebody would have one day and probably not the next day. So if we look at before and after, any blemishes are taken out, and it even helps remove the shine just a touch. Violet did a great job with her makeup, and with the lighting I used a big soft octabox. There's not really a need to reduce additional shine. There's one other adjustment, and that's body smoothing. I find this one is really aggressive. All of the other Luminar tools, you can normally crank things way to the right and it's not going to degrade the image. Body smoothing, though, is super strong and does tend to remove a lot of texture. I don't use it to try to remove blemishes. I find that if you move it too far to the right to smooth out blemishes, it really starts messing with the skin texture and doesn't look believable. If you leave it around 10 to 20, it looks great. It takes just the edge off the texture on the skin. So let's close up here, and I'll show you how I do fix any trouble areas now. Anything that's left from either the dark circles removal or the blemish removal tool, I would normally use either the clone tool or the erase tool. So let's use that, and that did an awesome job. Let's just get a couple of these little areas that we saw earlier. And before we commit to anything, we can go back and forth by looking at the quick preview. And everything looks great, so let's commit those changes. I'm going to double click on the image so we get it back to the full screen view. And then I'm going to use my scroll wheel and just bring the zoom up just a touch so we can see what we're working with. And this is what we started with. This is where we are now. And we could be finished right here. Violet looks awesome. But if I was going to make any other changes here, I like to go to the creative section and go to mood. And this is where you're going to find LUTs that you can color grade your images with. So let's click on choose LUT. There are so many great ones included with Luminar Neo. Under the creative section, you can see what these are all doing. So many good ones for portraits. Even 1990 looks awesome. I like Kodak Chrome 3, and it looks like Luminar Neo didn't want to get sued, so they added a C to Kodak. But Kodak Chrome 3 looks great for this image, and you can see before and after. Just brightens the skin tones a little bit, adds a little bit of contrast. And the nice thing is if it's too strong, you can reduce it. If it's not strong enough, you can increase it. I'm going to select right about here. Looks great to me. Last thing, let's crop it for Instagram, and that way I can share that lighting diagram with you. We'll make it a 4x3. And once we're happy with the size, the top and the bottom, we'll just hit apply. And now we cropped it, the last step is to export it. So let's come up to the upper right corner and go to export. I'm going to select a new export. And we'll call this Violet and Neo. And for this, I am going to make it for social media. So I'm going to select resize long edge, and we'll select 2048. Sharpening, I'll do low, quality 80, and this will save to my downloads folder. And that's how easy it is to go from here to here. And that's it. Nice, clean, and natural looking retouching using Luminar Neo. If you found this helpful, go ahead and hit the like button and consider subscribing for more portrait photography and edit tutorials. Don't forget, you can check out my Instagram, Tom Cheswick, for the lighting diagram from this shoot with Violet, plus more behind the scenes and tips. And if you're planning on trying the new spring update, let me know in the comments what you think of the Blemish Removal Tool. I'd love to hear how you're using it. And also be sure to grab my discount code below so you can save some money on Luminar Neo. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.